Welcome back to the YouTube channel, everyone. My name is Saman Habibi and I'm a real estate agent here in the Durham region. And today we are here in the city of Oshawa. We're going to be walking around, we're going to be looking at a few things, and most importantly, we're going to be talking about the employment landscape. So if you're moving to Oshawa from, somewhere else in the GTA, you need to know what the employment landscape looks like here. Are people commuting for work or are people working in the Durham region? So if you stick around till the end of this video, we're going to be talking about all things related to employment. And as always, just a reminder that I have my QR code on my socials over here. If you like, you can take out your phone, scan this QR code, and you can book a one-on-one call with me and we can talk about any questions that you may have about real estate in the Durham region. So if you're thinking of moving to the Durham region, you're probably wondering, what do people do for employment? Are people commuting for work or are people working here in the Durham region? And in this video and in this segment, we're going to talk about the commuters. So in previous videos, I've spoke about the Metrolinx expansion program, which essentially points to the fact that there's going to be 2 additional stops here in the Durham region and going further east to the Clarington area. This to me says that there's been enough studies done to know that there are a lot of commuters. So as a result, some of the people will just naturally be commuting to the GTA for employment purposes. So from the city of Oshawa, it takes around 50 minutes to an hour to get to the Union Station. And that is a fairly manageable commute for anyone who lives in the GTA. Typically, people are commuting that distance, but in a car. But now people are doing it in a GO train and are able to travel to essentially Union Station for, whether they work at the banks or whether they work for, any of the institutions that operate out of Union Station. So there's going to be naturally, X number of people who are commuters and will be going down to downtown or to the GTA for employment purposes. So what we're doing now is we're just taking you through some different areas of downtown Oshawa, just to kind of showcase to you, what they've been doing with the downtown core in terms of, artwork, investments, and so on. But essentially in the first part of the video, we spoke about people who commute to work. But now I want to take some time and speak to you about local employment and what the economy really looks like here in Oshawa. So it's fair to assume that when people, think about Oshawa, they always go towards manufacturing and, more specific GM. But I want to point out the fact that GM and manufacturing right now accounts for only 6% of the economy. So the economy here is fairly diverse. And when we look at this chart, we're going to see how the employment breaks down. So 18% of the employment comes from healthcare, 11% comes from educational services, and 15% comes from retail trade. So that makes up approximately 40 to 50% of the employment space. So now you can really get an understanding that we're not really that dependent on manufacturing. And it's safe to say that the effects of manufacturing kind of shrinking has already come and gone. So we don't really have that risk of manufacturing leaving, even if GM was to leave, which it's not likely to happen. And there's a lot of factors to point to the fact that they are staying here and creating additional jobs. But even if that was a risk, I don't anticipate a big material impact to result from that. So I want to jump into a bit more specifics. In February, there was a newspaper article released that showed the top 10 employers and how many jobs they contributed to the economy. So I'm going to put up this list so you can take a look at it and we'll quickly talk about it. So the Lakeridge Health Network. So this is a network that has 5 to 6 hospitals in the area, and they provide around 8,000 to 8,500 jobs. The Ontario Power Generation brings in around 7,000 to 7,500 jobs. The Durham District School Board, around 6,000 to 6,500 jobs. The region of Durham government, around 5,000 jobs. GM, around 4,000 jobs. The Durham Catholic School Board, around 3,500 to 3,700 school jobs. And then you have Walmart and Durham College. So these are the top 10 employers in the Durham region. That's been reported. So this study was supposed to be done again in 2023, but it's been delayed a little bit. So we would anticipate a new list to come out in the coming months, which would give us a bit more clarity in terms of what's going on. And lastly, I want to speak to you about key investments that are being made here in the Durham region and specifically in Oshawa that are going to create jobs. So I have a list here that I'm going to put up on the screen. And if we take a look at the list, you can pause this and take a look at it for yourself, but it highlights key investments made in 2018, 19, 2020, and 2021. And a couple of the ones that I want to draw your attention to is the Metrolinx expansion program. So that is what we've already spoke about in terms of the GO train line expanding, and that is going to bring an additional 21,000 jobs. The next one is a Durham Live Casino. So this is the casino that's being built in Pickering. They're estimating that expansion or that creation to create 10,000 jobs. And lastly, in 2021, if you look at section 2021 and beyond, number 5 is the Broccolini and Panettone partnership, the acquisition in the Northwood Business Park. This is going to be essentially a development where they're taking large amount of land and turning it into industrial space. So I have a virtual tour that I'm going to share with you guys now. And when I click on the virtual tour, you're going to see a rendering of what this area is going to look like. So currently it's just green space with trees, but they're going to be essentially clearing this area and turning it into an industrial hub. And as a result of that, there's going to be a lot of employers coming to the area. So let's just take some time and let's take a look at this virtual tour. And if you've made it this far in the video, I'm going to drop a link in the comment section or in the show notes where if you are looking for job opportunities here in the Durham region, there's a link that you can access. And in this link, you can pull up jobs that are currently hiring. So, if you're new to the area and you don't know where to begin, this would be a great link to utilize. So go to the show notes, click on this link, and you'll be able to look and see what's available in the area from an employment perspective.